comes around all of us. And I know she's going to be missing some meetings that she was looking forward to attending. So we do wish her the best. And then Mrs. Chansky is not able to be with us tonight either for that. So everyone else is here. We'll move to item number 5 for approval of minutes.
I motion to approve minutes.
We have a motion by Ms. Schoeneman, second by Ms. Mercer. Any other conversation or discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 6.
I have no reports this evening. Thank you.
No reports. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Bennett, you are item number 7.
Yes, ma'am. I have a few. One was honored to have Jim Powell, the F-SHIP and avail process. If we have any questions over 1102 tonight, Jim is here to answer those questions for us. And that's the self-insurance piece. And we're just taking that next step to move forward with it. This isn't a signed contract, but this is the direction we're headed. Am I correct on that, Jim?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Board members, y'all have any questions for Jim?
No, we appreciate the great presentation. It's kind of a big deal.
It's exciting.
It's like, yeah, it's
And we're
exciting.
very excited about it as well. So
Yes.
we'll, as we talked about last time, we'll get the financials through May and then finalize all the numbers in June for your approval. So this is the next step.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. It wasn't required, and I appreciate you doing that.
It's important.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. The next thing I have is 1111 that's a big dollar purchase item. We're going to be using some ESSER's funding to, this air quality piece, that'll be the controls and so forth for the middle schools air. All our facilities within the district should have upgraded air conditioning before we're done with these ESSER's dollars. That's one of the big investments that we made. Again, I believe it's to make the computer part of it really functional, where we have a little bit more control and we have a little more of a heads up when something's coming up. I think we were using an outdated program called Silverlight or Silverfish. Did anybody recognize that at one time? That internet was no longer supported. So we've had to make some, again, technological, but also some infrastructure changes for the middle school piece. 1112, this is the beginning of the device rotation. We were talking placement rotation. We talked about this, I believe, is 1,000 devices. We don't want to get to that point where we have 4,500 devices that we have to replace at one time. And again, right now we're using a pot of grant money to make that purchase this year. I'm assuming next year we're going to come back with that and continue to rotate that stock out. And then Marcus has shared with the board. Then this is for public information. We're going to try to filter those down and make sure that we've, now everything is tested online. So kids need to have access to a good piece of equipment. And those have a shelf life of what, Jake, 3 or 4 years? Really?
Max is 5, but
Max 5. So we need to replace them where they don't just age out on us and they don't function. We don't need to have a year where we go to testing and have 2,500 of them don't work. And the kids really need to be working with them throughout the school year. So this will be year 1 of the replacement. We'll expect to see this again next year and the following year and the following year. Next, I want to address the 5-year work plan. It doesn't address the new high school. That will go on the next 5-year work plan. And I thought I would share the special facilities construction piece with our board members as well as the public. And this is just a rough timeline. It's not exactly accurate, but it's within reason. The first piece, and this is accurate, the pre-application request has to be in February 1st of 2024. We're going to try to get that in earlier, much earlier than that, just in case there's something that needs to be ironed out, some kind of wrinkle. So we're going to try to, Marcus and our finance department and facilities are going to try to get that done much earlier. May 1st, the visitation. If we can get this piece done earlier, the pre-application, the visit will be 90 days from whenever we submit that. So if we submit it December 1, 90 days from December 1, we get that visit. And that'll be a team of folks who'll be from districts that don't participate in special facilities construction. That would be somebody from Sarasota or Lee or Charlotte or Walton County at the Panhandle. And then representatives from, I believe, FSBIT, not FSBIT, the School Board Association and the Superintendent's Association. Then we'll have June 1st, our documentation's due for phase one. That'll be a very rough outline of what it would look like. We would hope to get approval in July or August. And then the legislative session that would follow in January to March would be where that approval piece would be. We would get paid, and the construction piece will really sync with the paydays, because we don't want to have a project that we don't have money for. So if they'll give us a two-pay appropriation, the school will be done in a little bit in the fall of 27. If it's a three-pay appropriation, the school will open in the fall of 28. Because we don't want to get construction ahead of our finances. And explain the financial part, because that's one thing as a property owner I would be concerned about. For our board members and our general public, we're going to commit 1 mil of property or 1 mil of our tax, or our 1.5 mil for 3 years. We're not raising taxes. We won't be doing anything locally. What we're trying to do is make sure that we can get access to the state funding. It's not a matching fund piece. So if the school costs $60 million, we're going to put 1 mil. If that 1 mil for 3 years equals $4 million, that's our contribution. But that's not a tax increase. That's not a piece that we would have to go out to the vote. That doesn't figure on property taxes, sales taxes, or anything. That will have no impact on our community in terms of taxes. So I'm going to get that piece out there. This is just a great opportunity for small, rural, high poverty area districts to access. It's been in existence 20-something years. We've never accessed it. I know Violet made a presentation. We did our facilities workshop from the state. We're excited about it. It can be a good thing for our community, a good thing for our kids. And in the process, we want to try to update have a new high school, but update what would be the middle school, Memorial, Nocatee West. We want to have a plan in place that goes down long after we're all gone, where we have replacements on the horizon for some of these schools. All it takes is that one school shooting to have that you have to have a safe campus. Right now, all of our campuses are safe, but we want to make them safer. We want this new high school to be state of the art in terms of you're not getting in that single point of entry without us checking you in. So we're excited about that. We want to try to move forward, as we talked earlier in our workshop, with our other buildings in terms of safety. So this is an exciting time for us. Nothing is definite. This is all preliminary, but it was very encouraging as we visited with folks from special facilities, and as Violet shared with our board. I'm very confident that we're going to see this project move forward. I've had contact with folks in state government, and they're supportive of our efforts to move forward. It's just a matter now of making sure we dot the i's and cross the t's and get it across the finish line. Madam Chair, I believe that is really all that I have right now.
Thank you for all those details and for the extra info on the timeline. I'm sure the other board members have also gotten all kinds of questions about things. There's a lot of misinformation out there, as we predicted that there would be. So I just would encourage people to make sure that if you're sharing information or hearing information, not everything that's floating around is accurate. So if you hear it through one of the board meetings, or one of the board members, someone from our school district leader team, you can bet it's good. But as things get passed on, they may not all be completely accurate. And thanks for planning to continue to share as things progress. I appreciate you offering to do that. And you mentioned the HVAC system that's getting upgraded. Those costs are high, and they're everywhere. Costs are high everywhere. So we know that it's going to cost a lot, but boy, we don't want our babies sweating.
No, we don't. I mean, the inflation piece is so crazy in America. Go buy an Egg McMuffin meal at McDonald's, it's $7 or $8 right now. And we're seeing it in everything.
Yeah.
Cost of everything.
We are. And at the same time, we still have to do what is right for our students. So I know it's sometimes hard to put these proposals out there for us, whenever they're costly, but we do appreciate you doing that.
And on that piece again, Madam Chair, just want to emphasize that we're going to use some ESSER funding and
Yeah.
sources that are going to disappear. We've tried not to invest ESSER funds in the reoccurring costs, because we don't want to have reoccurring costs, and when ESSER disappears, we can't fund it. And this is something that's a one-time piece that won't be a real trend, at least for the next 15 or 20 years.
Hopefully not. It's a good thing to spend on. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 8, public presentations. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the board on an agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 9, financial reports.
Motion to approve the financial reports. Second.
Motion by Ms. Mercer, seconded by Ms. Schoeneman. Any other conversation or discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Moves us to item number 10, routine business.
A motion to approve routine business.
Motion by Ms. Schoeneman, seconded by Ms. Mercer. Any further discussion other than what we've already had, the superintendent has mentioned? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 11, new business.
Motion to approve new business. Second.
Motion by Ms. Schoeneman and seconded by Ms. Mercer. Any other conversations or discussions? I would like to point out that we have project graduation happening, so for those people, as families who are listening in or here who have seniors, please plan to attend project graduation. That is a fantastic program that our seniors have available to them to celebrate them on their graduation. So I'd encourage attendance at that. No other discussion then. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 12, Dr. Bennett.
Yes, ma'am. I want to revisit the new school project just ever so briefly. One of the things we want to do is send a survey out to our community members, parents, students, what would we like to see in that new high school? You know, because we're all going to get to do this one time. And we really want to make it just as user-friendly as we can. Our level of commitment financially is capped. We're good. It's the 3 mil piece. And what the state approves is what the state will approve. We're going to go in there and think outside of the box. Things that I just think off the top of my head, if I was a mom or a dad, it would be nice to have access to a auditorium that we don't currently have, where you're not having to go to the civic center, or maybe a swimming pool. Now, I don't promise that we would get a swimming pool or an auditorium, but right now the legislature mandates that we teach swimming, or we have to send a letter home that we don't have a facility where the nearest facility is. And I believe the nearest facility is in Hardy County at their high school. So that might be something that, whereas they might not have approved it at one time due to there being a lack of a facility in Cook County, that could possibly happen. So I would say, you know, we certainly want to listen to everybody's input. We want to make it something the community's proud of, but we also want to make it something that's educationally practical to get kids prepared for those jobs that don't exist right now. You know, the CTE piece, you know, there's college, there's military, but there's just good old fashioned technical training or vocational training. And we want to have a robust vocational technical portion of this high school. So again, we are going to actively solicit your input and want it. We desire it. And we want to look at it, crunch numbers and visit with the state and see just what we can do for our community and for our children. The last thing I have is just a little bit of an update on FEMA. FEMA's been giving us a little bit of heartburn recently in terms of moving forward. We were going to do an expedited project, and I believe we're about 3.2 million or so into the reconstruction piece. That's our part that we have to pay. And FEMA was agreeable to pay half of it up front, and then we would give them invoices for the remainder until we got that paid, which is not a problem. And it's not a problem right now, but it has slowed down. You know, they've thought that Charlotte, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Jake, but the reason they're slowing us down is because Charlotte didn't do something correctly and they approved it. Does that sound right?
FEMA's saying basically that they didn't review Charlotte's close enough and they got approved for an expedited project, but then they reviewed ours more thoroughly and slowed us down a little bit. But
Yeah, they're slowing us down. We're gonna end up having an expedited project, but they're making us jump through every hoop. And Charlotte didn't jump through a hoop, Lee didn't jump through a hoop, and Sarasota didn't jump through a hoop. You know, I guess they're just so poor over in those counties on the beachfront, they don't have to They don't have to do that, but we're gonna work with FEMA. At the end of the day, they're our banker and they control those purse funds and we're still in good shape financially. But we do ask y'all to keep us in your thoughts and prayers as we do with FEMA. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Hopefully that we won't have to be dealing with them, again anytime soon. We don't want any more disasters, so. Item number 13, public presentations. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the board on a non-agended item? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 14, board member comments. We'll start with Mrs. Mercer.
Just want to thank both Matt and Alan for their presentations and information today, and Dr. Bennett for keeping us up to date on the things that are happening.
Thank you. Ms. Schindler?
I want to echo that. Thank you for the presentations. You guys do so much for our district, keeping our kids safe, keeping us online. You know, those are critical things that we absolutely have to have. So thank you so much for going above and beyond for our kids and our staff. In light of everything that's happening, thank you to our SROs, our sheriff's department and our police department for all that you guys do for keeping everybody safe. We greatly appreciate that. And it goes beyond just keeping people safe. It's the relationships too with our kids. It's critically important. So
Thank you. Well stated and important to note. Thank you. I would just like to say safe travels to everyone. We've got some folks going off to the School Board Association Conference, some folks going off to a FISBIT conference. So lots of traveling that starts immediately for some people. So safe travels and thank you for representing our district well in all of those places. Appreciate that. And with that, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Motion to adjourn by Ms. Schindler, seconded by Ms. Mercer. It is 5:48 p.m. and we are officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for the update for this.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
like the plan.